I mean, as it is, I understand that within the next 100 years or so, a tree is probably going to eat me. And if that's true, then I need to have fun on my religious journey today. So welcome to the Durrt Church. My name's Jimmy Durr, and this is a big turbo that leaks oil everywhere. This is an old milk jug. I found it in the woods, and I'm gonna turn it into my, well, what am I gonna turn it into? I'm gonna turn it into my air filter cover that stops falling apart. There we go. Might have to weld it together. I've got two. So basically my air filter goes inside the can, put the top back on, and then it'll suck air from the bottom and be protected from mud and water from the top. Alright, let's weld her together. Alright, come on up. Built-in hammer. Give it a little smack. There we go, just a smack and a spin. And there it goes right where I wanted it. Perfect. Look at that. Perfect, perfect. Very nice. Very, very nice. So there we are. That's what it looks like. Looks like I'm hauling an old rusty can of milk, but it's actually my air filter. Now, I wonder if my elbow will fit in there. Oh yeah, smack my elbow in there, that'll feel nice. So I'm gonna make some adjustments to my stock. Yeah, stock. This is stock. No, this is not stock. This is a monstrosity, but it works. Well, it did work until I changed engines, and now it needs to be in a different location and mounted differently, so I'm just gonna mark some lines here. I'm gonna cut it there and see how it works. Weld it to the frame, drill a new hole in the throttle thingy, and bolt it up. Then we should have a pedal. Next thing we'll need will be a kill switch, and then it'll be just about time for a spin in the driveway. Alright, I'm going to put a hose clamp on there and clamp my cable in. Then we're going to twist this wire around that, which we'll pull when we pull. And push when we push. I'm just going to squeeze them together and make a nice sandwich. Just make a sandwich. Now I'm up in the cab. I've got to make a little hole here for my kill switch. That might work. Running an air hose up into the cab for a pressure gauge for my air intake. So what did I do? I started the truck. I wanted to test steering. Steering didn't work. Thought it might be low on fluid. I added fluid. That didn't work. Maybe the pump's not powerful enough. Maybe I can pull a shim out of it or something like that. Maybe if I jack the front rear up and then work the tires back and forth, it'll work some air out. I don't know. As of now, I've got no steering. Worse than that, I don't feel anything when I put it in reverse. When I put it in drive, I feel it lunge forward a little bit, but then it's nothing, has nothing, no drive power. Thought maybe it was low on fluid. I came back and added 2 quarts to it. It's definitely got trans fluid in it, and it's definitely not working. And then, of course, this old thing is just slinging oil out in the air. Hot oil's flying everywhere while it's running, which isn't that bad, but now it's blowing oil into the intake. Well, there's 3 big problems I've got to figure out. Which one to work on first? So, while you were sleeping, I went to turbo school on YouTube, and I found this dude that explained this pretty simply to me. And like I thought, I don't think there's rubber seals in this turbo. Maybe some turbos have them. But these things get so hot, it didn't make any sense to me. So as I understand it, now that I've been to turbo school, the way this works is there's like a metal, like a steel ring in there that's like a compression. So when it gets hot, it seals, but it's mostly to seal from the outside. It doesn't really have any rubber seal in it to keep the oil from blowing out the sides. I think the general idea is oil just drops through and cools the bearing and then drops out. So what I did is I put a small hose, it might only be like a 1/2-inch hose, that I put to get the oil out of here. To feed it, that's fine. It has a small hose feeding it, but you need a big straight tube, as I understand it. We don't know if this works yet, but I think it will. I need a big straight tube coming off the bottom of this so that I don't restrict the flow of oil coming out. That way oil doesn't build up inside of it and blow out the sides. All the good mechanics I know are mostly dead, so I didn't have anybody to ask that question to. But I think I found the right answer. I think I've come to the right decision. We'll see what happens. I'm putting it back together. I didn't find anything wrong. I think my return line there is what was wrong, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to reroute it and make a new return line. I have to reroute my inlet too, but I think that'll solve my oil leaking. So if nothing else, I just got a lot of practice taking this thing apart. I think this is all gonna work out one way or another. So now I'm pulling this side of the turbo off because, there we go, because it was blowing out the sides of the gasket. So I'm gonna restrict the exit hole for the exhaust, will be the entrance to the turbo. I've just got to do a little welding there, fix that leak. That's a big black hole. Stick my telescoping magnet down in the hole, pick up any little bits of metal that fell down in there. Whoa! There we go. Good idea, Jimmy Durr. Good idea. Throw that overboard. Let's throw it that way where my turbo's not sitting. Let's do that again. Just want to put it down in the hole. You want to get it in there as deep as you can and wiggle it around. Might have to do this a couple of times because we're just pulling bird shot out of there. Next up, Let's bring in the big old turbine. Don't forget the gasket. I'm gonna go with that's the top, but I really don't have any clue. It's the top now, isn't it? And which way did this go again? Something like this. Does anybody remember which way this went? So let's put it back together. I hope I clocked it right. I didn't mark anything when I took it apart, but I do know that's the bottom and this is the top, so that's good. That's a good start. Oh, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Why did I put that there? Here we go. All right, there we go. That went together quite nicely. I use my internal level, my eyeballs here, and make sure that it's absolutely perfectly level. And there it is. The bubble between my eyes is perfect. Everything looks good. Let me find the proper wrench, and we will tighten this clamp. All right. I don't know about you, but I think that this is starting to look better by the minute. Little bit of turning, a little bit of turning, and you're gonna be really tight. Not too much. Not too much. Why do I always tighten everything too much? Well, we don't want it to fall off. I try very hard, and I'm hoping to one day know more than I know today. Now, before a tree eats me, I would like to spend my time here making progress on the things that are important to me, but also entertaining everyone around me. So you're very lucky to be in my presence because I am an entertainer.